Hello, good friends. It's the Tri-Keen, and welcome to the introduction to the 7th season of Monday Night Sluggers Predictions. Those of you who have participated in this before pretty much already know what to expect, so if you are one of those people, you can skip ahead to the appropriate timestamp shown here, where I talk about new things for the upcoming season. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and explain to newcomers out there how Monday Night Sluggers Predictions work. Alrighty, newcomers, here's what to expect. Sluggers Predictions is a competition held on Monday nights for 3 months where you predict what kinds of outcomes will happen on my routine streams of the Mario Sluggers game. The streams are on my Twitch channel Monday nights at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Every week of the season takes place at a certain ballpark from within the game. For instance, week 1 of the season takes place at Mario Stadium, week 2 at Luigi's Mansion, and others over the course of an 8-week regular season. How do you predict, you may be asking? You simply use this Google Forms sheet to fill them out. You will be asked things like what captains will be randomly selected by me to play in these exhibition games, how many home runs, certain ballpark shenanigans, and many others. I'll point out this one important thing that you, as a participant, must understand. Being at my streams each Monday night during the Sluggers season is not a requirement, as I know some of you can have busy schedules. All you're really doing as a registered participant is just filling out prediction forms week by week, including ones far in advance if you like. The part of being at the streams, checking results videos, and spreadsheets are up to you. Before I get into how to fill out those forms, I'm going to first cover how I run the Slugger streams in general. It will start with a short countdown video, followed by me coming on to get things started. Then we get started with playing a daytime exhibition game at the ballpark of the week. I will be randomly selecting the captain to play as by pressing the number 1 button on the Wii remote. Then I randomly select the rest of teammates on both sides, but I take out extra captain characters from my team, and I set a star ranking to each member of the opposing team to make it more of a challenge for me. I then try to keep track of any colored Toad, Yoshi, or Shy Guy that randomly comes up, as they will be used for MVP points at the end of the exhibition game played. After all that gets settled, we begin this 9-inning game. You'll see me counting up stats like home runs, strikeouts, and other special events happening during the game too. After that 9-inning game is over, I look at who the MVP of my team is and decide which mode to play as an intermission between exhibition games with that character. Those modes are either Minigame Madness or Toy Field. Whichever mode I pick for the daytime MVP, the MVP for the nighttime game will play in the other. After playing that first intermission mode, we do the same thing that started the stream again, but for the nighttime version. Some stats from the daytime game will still carry over to the nighttime game. After playing the nighttime game, the MVP for that will play the other intermission mode that wasn't played, and after that gets finished, I end off the stream for the week. These streams typically run from 1.5 to 2 hours, so it can last as long as some movies you watch. And that is how a Monday Night Sluggers prediction stream works. Now it's time to answer your question of how do you get involved. It's pretty simple really. All you first have to do is register to participate, so that it will be easy for me to keep track of your point total on the season. Use this Google Forms sheet here to register. Sometime after you register, you will be contacted by me via your preferred method of contact and be given a randomized 4-digit ID number. The ID number is used to authenticate you as a registered participant. That way nobody else can use your name for manipulation purposes, such as giving lopsided bad picks on the forms. You'll also notice that at the end of the registration form is an agreement you must abide to, which is to get your submissions of the weekly prediction forms done on time before the stream for that week begins. Otherwise, you will be dismissed from the competition season. You'll have plenty of time to get all 8 weeks of them filled out after registering, so don't feel pressure to only fill out just one per week. especially if it's within minutes of the stream starting. You'll see some reminder videos uploaded to my YouTube channel in the few days leading up to the stream to help you. So make sure you are subscribed to my channel and have notifications turned on as well if you absolutely need reminding to get that week's prediction form submitted before the stream gets underway Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. After each week is finished, I look over your submissions and give you points based on how you did. A results video for that will usually come out on Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Central Time here on my YouTube channel, which will show a leaderboard of how many points each participant scored. The one who scored the most for that week will win a $10 digital gift card to whatever he or she chooses. There will also be gift card prizes for scoring the most cumulative points at the end of the 8-week regular season and for being the grand champion of the playoffs. To qualify for the playoffs, you must finish the regular season in the top 16 of the cumulative points leaderboard. And that is what to expect from a Sluggers stream for all you newcomers out there. Hope to see you participate, and best of luck. Alrighty, you made it here to the non-boring part of the video. I'm now going to talk about what to expect for Season 7 for both rookies and veterans. As always, I highly recommend that if we want a high turnout of participants, that you, the viewers, should tell your friends and family about this competition. If we can get enough to sign up, I'll put registrants' names for referring others to sign up in a drawing for a chance to win a $10 gift card. One thing I mentioned back in the Season 6 in review video was that I'd be opening up registration after the bonus stream instead of at the time this video comes out, in an effort to make participation numbers higher so that there may be little to no dropouts or no-shows after registering. I could tell this was also important to those who typically register on day 1 and fill out all 8 weeks of forms by then too. So I reconsidered and made registration open today as of the upload of this video. Now for a look ahead to Season 7. As you may know, last season was team-oriented competition, and I mentioned that we're going to do those every fall. And for spring seasons, which is what this upcoming one is, there will be a singles competition, and it will be a top 16 players on the cumulative points leaderboard that make the playoffs. Before I get into schedules and other things, I want to talk about the registration form for the 7th season. You're going to notice quite a lot of new things that I hope will make things more intriguing and garner more participation. One new thing you will see, and I briefly chatted about this in the What to Expect for Newcomers segment. You'll notice that I'm now offering weekly winners $10 towards gift cards to a retailer of your choice. But you can also redeem your $10 winnings towards eShop credit like before. On this question of the registration form, you have the option of letting me know what kind of $10 redemption you'd like should you be the winner. One option says Ask Me, which is what I will do via your method of contact if you are a winner and you've got multiple places in mind but don't want to decide at the time of registration. With this kind of reward system, I believe we can attract new players who want to win something but don't have a Switch to redeem eShop credit, such as if that person only has a PlayStation, Xbox, or Steam, they can win credit for either of those services, or even if someone wants spending money for a place like Amazon, or even a place they like to eat at, things like that. Another thing you'll notice on the registration form is something that I think will be a Hail Mary of sorts for the end of the 8-week regular season. The question on that form is, which captain character will get the most random selections in the regular season? This is something you'll be predicting on the registration form instead of the weekly forms. Quite simply, when I press the number 1 button on the Wii Remote, I'll be keeping track of which captains get selected all season. Keep in mind, this does not include extra captain characters on the opposing team's side, only just the ones at the start of picking captains. I'll also be displaying a leaderboard for that in both the results videos and the spreadsheet. Whichever captain comes out on top will award 25 points to participants who selected that captain after week 8. In case of a tie, each captain involved will still count as the winning captain. 25 points, I think, will be huge to those who are trying to improve playoff positioning by either getting a high seed or for coming back from the outside looking in. I'm really excited to give this thing a try, and I hope you are as well. And now for a big question to ask you guys. I teased about this in the Season 6 in review video that you will get to choose which one of these 3 playoff formats we will use for this upcoming season. Before I get into each and every format, let me first announce that no matter which option you choose, we will have 4 participants competing in the final week instead of 2. For instance, 2 will compete for the championship, and the other 2 will compete in a consolation third place game, in which the winner of that will get a $10 gift card. Fourth place gets nothing. The 2 championship game participants will both be compensated. Second place gets a gift card worth $20, and first place gets $50. Keep this in mind when making your choice of a playoff format. The first format is the traditional one we've been using each of the last 3 singles competition seasons. It's just the standard 16-person bracket, but now with a consolation game for third place on the week of the championship round. The second format is another single elimination bracket, but with buys for the top 8 players. However, a double bye will be awarded to the top 4 players. The bottom 8 players will qualify, or the bottom 8 players to qualify will play in the opening round, and winners will advance to take on either of the 5th through 8th seeds in the second round. Then the second round winners will take on either of the top 4 seeds in the quarterfinals round. No reseeding will be done in this format, but I feel like this concept will create incentives to get high rankings, which will lead to head starts for those people. Plus, it will have the third place consolation game like in the first format I mentioned earlier. And the third playoff format up for vote is a double elimination bracket. This is going to be a doozy to explain, but I hope it will be something intriguing to at least consider. This format will have a road to the championship similar to the College World Series, where we will have 4 double elimination bracket groups of 4 qualifiers each. The schedule for this format will look like this. Week 1 will be the opening round games in each group. Winners advance to the winners bracket game the next week, while the losers get sent down to the losers bracket. Week 2 will be the first elimination game in the losers bracket, where the loser is out and the winner takes on the loser of the winners bracket matchup the following week. The winners bracket winner advances to the group final, which will take place 2 weeks later. So basically, those that win the first 2 games will get the third week off before coming back for the group final in week 4. Week 3 is the second elimination game in each group, with the loser going home and the winner advancing to the group final. Week 4 will be each group's final. Here's where it's going to be a bigger doozy. It's a matchup of an undefeated player versus a one-loss player. If you know how double elimination tournaments work, you'll know that all participants except for the champion must have 2 losses. So these 2 players could face each other either once or twice in the same kind of round. The thing I came up with to prevent playing the same round in back-to-back weeks is for both participants to fill out 2 different prediction forms at the same ballpark, with one labeled as Form A and the other as Form B. In this round, all that needs to happen is either the undefeated player wins only one of the 2 forms submitted, or the one-loss player must win both forms. Whichever one happens, that player will advance to the final Week 5, which will contain all 4 group winners, and it will be a free-for-all matchup, with the prizes for first through third place and fourth place getting nothing. And that's all 3 playoff formats up for vote by you, the participants. I'd suggest re-watching this segment if you are really wondering which format you should vote for. I'll announce which format gets the most votes after the registration period closes. In case a tie happens for that, a WheelDecide.com spin will decide it. You have from now until Wednesday, February 28th at 8 p.m. Central Time to register. We will, of course, 3 weeks before the season begins, have an exhibition-type bonus stream on Monday, February 12th at Mario Stadium. This prediction week is for people who are registered, and also if you are not, to get a good feel for how the week works. The prediction form for that is free to fill out with or without the ID number. The points you earn in that will not carry over into the regular season, but just think of it as a way to warm up for the season to begin. Now here's the schedule in full. Look it over, and I will next discuss what new things to expect with prediction forms for Season 7. Alrighty, now for another thing you've been waiting for. Changes to the prediction forms. A new question, finally we got 20, has been added to predict how many total regular points will be scored by me in Minigame Madness. The question will be like the home runs, strikeouts, and ballpark related questions where you just fill in a number and try to come within 5 of the actual number to get points. Also for Minigames 1, I've changed that to be any number from 0 to 5. I think this will create more separation from the competition, as I tend to get in the 3 or less range most of the time, and it's picked by lots of you. I hope these changes to the questions will make things more competitive as we go along in the season. And I think that will about do it for this introductory video to Season 7 of Sluggers Predictions. Again, registration is now open, and you have till Wednesday, February 28th to get signed up and participate. Be sure to let other friends and family know of this season so that we can have a great participant turnout. If you are still on the fence about registering, you can still fill out the prediction form for the bonus stream that will be held on Monday, February 12th, and then maybe that will give you an idea of how this works. All these links will be down in the description. You can also find links to all regular season week forms on my link tree, which I highly recommend you bookmark to your internet browser to make it easy to access the prediction forms, plus spreadsheets detailing registrants' names, who has submitted forms, and the results for each week. Otherwise, that will do it. Thanks for watching this introductory video to Season 7. Be sure to ask me any questions you may have about this season. I hope to see you participate, and best of luck to you all.